What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we are going over the Detroit Red Wings captain, Dylan Larkin. He's a year from unrestricted free agency. Does he stay with the Detroit Red Wings, or could the Red Wings maybe be looking to go in a different direction? We'll go over that. Also, we're going to be going over the latest on the head coaching search for the Red Wings. Steve Yzerman, this is a big deal for Yzerman. He's had a couple of different names that have been linked to the Red Wings since the search has begun, so we're going to go over that as well. So let's start off there. So the head coaching search for the Detroit Red Wings, they've gone over a lot of different names. A couple more recent names we've been hearing about. Rick Tocchet has been rumored. He's been on TNT this past season as one of the the color guys. One of the guys on the panel. He's done very good there. He's been a head coach all over the place. He was most recently the head coach of the Coyotes. He was with the Pittsburgh Penguins organization for a while. He was an interim coach with the Flyers, where he played for many years on Broad Street. So he does have a bit of a coaching history, even in the Eastern Conference in the Northeast. So that does make sense there for him to go to Detroit. We've also heard of Derek Lalonde, who is one of the assistant head coaches on John Cooper's staff down in Tampa Bay. So, of course, there are going to be ties there. Steve Yzerman obviously has a connection with him as well, because he's probably one of the guys that came into the staff. He's known him in the organization. So, you've got Rick Tocchet and Derek Lalonde. We also heard about Barry Trotz. Obviously, that's a big name on the market. I think a lot of it comes down to what Barry wants to do. So I think that's obviously another big name that could be out there. And we've heard some other guys in the mill as well. I've even heard John Tortorella's name. I think he's more tied to the Flyers job. But those are the kind of guys that we're hearing about for the Red Wings. I do think Barry Trotz, or honestly, I do like Derek Lalonde. I think he would be a really nice fit for the Red Wings. Yes, he doesn't necessarily have a ton of head coaching experience at the National Hockey League level. I'm pretty sure he might not have any, being alongside John Cooper, but I do think that's a kind of guy that Steve Yzerman would like to have behind the bench. But with that said, I do think that it is going to be quite interesting what they end up doing with this head coaching job search, because again, we know Yzerman likes to stick with guys that he knows, and pretty much all of those guys he has some kind of tie to. So now moving on to the Dylan Larkin thing. So Dylan Larkin is 1 year away from unrestricted free agency. He's 25 years old, making $6.1 million on the final year of his contract. I do expect a raise there. At least between $7.5 to $8 million, I would say, is probably what you're looking at for Larkin. He's not going to get the 9s or 10s or 11s. He's not worth that much, but I do think he will get somewhere between 7 and 8. If we know anything about Yzerman with the way he makes contracts, this is going to be a big precedent that he's setting for this Red Wings organization, because if Dylan Larkin, the captain of the Red Wings, is making 8, and let's say he makes 8, well, how is Lucas Raymond and Mo Seider going to make more than that? Those are the type of deals where a Dylan Larkin contract like this is going to play hugely into factors moving into the future in terms of the cap structure of the Red Wings. So, I don't know, maybe one day Seider or Raymond takes that captaincy away from Larkin. I don't know. Steve Yzerman doesn't typically do that, but that's something to look at. I do think they lock up Dylan Larkin. I kind of said here that they won't, but this is the report from Kevin Allen. Dylan Larkin is confident he'll get an extension worked out with Detroit this offseason. So I don't think that's that big of a deal. I think they get him locked up. I think they need to do that. I think Larkin knows that he has to do that. And just one last thing for the Red Wings to kind of think about, and I think, next year's a big year for them. They have a lot of guys, Pius Suter, Tyler Bertuzzi, and that's kind of it for next year. The year after that, though, it gets interesting, because you have Michael Rasmussen, Lucas Raymond, Jacob Vrana, Mo Seider, Philip Hronek. So things are going to be interesting this year and next year for the Red Wings in terms of their cap situation. So getting Dylan Larkin done on a fair contract, like I said, is going to play a huge impact, not only for his contract, but for the contracts that precede him. He's setting the precedent for the Red Wings under Steve Yzerman. And like I said, it's going to affect what Mo Seider gets and Lucas Raymond as well after that. With that said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think Dylan Larkin's contract will look like? Is it somewhere between $7 to $8.5 million per season? I think it's pretty fair. They'll go for that 8-year max contract for Larkin. Again, that'll take up till he's 33, 34 years old. I think that's a pretty good deal. I think I would take that as well. So guys, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.